Alright, good morning guys. So, I got a new car, and it's a Subaru. So we're gonna check out what it is. Hey guys, so this is my 1998 Subaru Legacy Limited. It's a full black leather interior wagon, and it's an automatic. What's cool about this car is that I was actually looking for a CB9, which is a Honda Accord wagon from 1993. I didn't really care which one, most likely more of a 1991 because I like the whole like squarish look. So on Craigslist, you can actually save a search, and I put a price range for mine, and I put keyword wagon, so anything that came up, no matter what year or what like model, you know, as long as it had wagon in it, it came up for me in my email preferences. So like one morning I got an email and I was like, hey, there's a Subaru for 450 bucks located 3.5 hours away from you, and there was one picture, and it just showed the side of a, oh no, it showed the front of a car, and that was it. And I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting, you know, there's a lot of fake ads out there. I'll check this one out. So I emailed him, and I emailed him my number, and I told him I was interested. Give me a heads up, and I'll go look at it. And what ended up happening was, he was actually a really friendly guy. Usually when cars are that cheap, people don't want to give you the time of day. Like, oh, if you want more pictures, too bad, so sad. But this guy, great dude. Talked to him for a couple of days. He sent me loads of pictures of the car. All the problems it had, what he'd done to it. He said he had all the paperwork for it, clean title, and I was like, wow, it's too good to be true. And I was like, anyway, I can come see it sometime. And he's like, well, I have a couple people who had ahead of you right now, and I told him I was going to let them see it. But if they don't work out, then I'm definitely down to give it to you. And I was like, you know what, fair enough, you know, like, it's fine. You know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I went to school the next day. I got a text from the middle of class. I couldn't see it because I was in class, being a good student and all. And I looked at my phone, and well, after class was over, I looked at my phone, and he sent me a text saying like, hey, since we had such a good conversation yesterday, and I really appreciate like you being so kind, and you weren't being malicious in any way, I can tell the guys that you can, you know, that you already bought it, that's already sold, you know, and then you can come down and grab it. But he's like, how about you meet me in the middle of the price? I originally wanted $300 for it. Meet me in the middle, and you can give it for $350. And I was like, oh, okay, so $100 off the car, which is already a pretty good cheap deal. And I was like, I'm down, because I told him previously, if I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna buy the car. There's no question about it. I'm not gonna go about 3.5 hours of my way not to buy a car. After all of that, I drove down there, and car drove. I didn't know it drove. I thought it was out of commission. He told me it leaked a lot of coolant. To me personally, when it leaks a lot of coolant, it could be three things. It could be a broken hose, it could be a broken gasket, or a broken head. One of the three. So at that price, I could toss a whole new engine in it and still be, you know, coming out of money, you know, perfectly fine with me. And it still drove fine, but he opened the hood and showed me, and that thing was gushing, like it was gushing, and it looked like it was coming from the head, from where it was angled at, and I was like, damn. But I was already there, and the interior was great, and I just really appreciated the time and effort he gave me, you know, to have this car. So I was like, you know what, man, here's the money in your pocket. I'm down. I really appreciate the business. And I drove it to the closest gas station, got it towed the next morning back to my place, and opened the hood to kind of find out. I took the intake off, and there's a coolant passage from the front of the engine to the back of the engine. I guess there's two gaskets that goes deep into the middle of the engine, and the one on the left side was gushing out. So it went from a $350 car to a $360 car. For 10 bucks with a little work on my own, I got a running car, and I used it about a month. And Technically, this car's been sitting here for about 6 months. I've been lagging with class and everything, so I really couldn't show you guys the car, even though I would have loved to. Didn't have time. The issue being, though, is that it did overheat recently. And because of that, it's been sitting here for a while now. And when a Subaru overheats, the head gaskets go. That's just like this, you know, that's just, it's just the way the Subaru works, bro. Like, fucking, that's it. That's how Subaru works. That's what you get, man. So on this channel, I'm going to be showing you how I replaced my head gasket in the car, which is coming up soon. And I also have some future plans to actually, like, you know, I plan on off-roading in this car. So it's going to be sick. I'm going to be raising the car between 5 to 10 inches. Big off-roading tires, bigger rims, raising the chassis, raising the actual, like, you know, suspension. I'm going to keep the stock suspension because apparently it's pretty good. I was thinking about putting the Forester ones. I've read online a lot. But, you know, apparently this Outback is not that bad with suspension-wise. And I've actually fixed this car up a little bit here and there. He gave me a picture of the car on the right side, the passenger side. It was covered in duct tape. I didn't understand why until I talked to him, and he said that it leaked a lot of water inside the car when it rained. So I was like, oh, really? That's pretty odd. And it wasn't cheap duct tape. It was pretty good duct tape, so it stayed on there really well. But I replaced the seal on that one, $5 at Pick and Pull. It had a broken fog light. The minute I started the car and drove it down the hill to the gas station, the one fog light was out. Kind of find out it was actually broken. So I replaced that, no problem. And all the interior lights in the car were a no-go. Like, they were all gone. They were all shot. I have another video of that one specifically, going to be on its own category. I'm going to be raising this car, and I'm going to be fixing the lights in this car, and it's going to be sick. And I'm also going to be changing the head gasket, which you guys can see. I'm taking the whole engine out on this one. So, you know, if you want to get this content, please like and subscribe. Let me know, you know, if you guys are interested in this. So, yeah. This is Alex, signing out.